Hi guys, Kevin here. I'm going to tell you the top 5 reasons why you should buy a full spectrum Muse instead of a Glowforge. Thanks for watching. Let's start off with number 5, all-day cooling. The full spectrum Muse has an external cooler that's used to cool the laser, unlike the Glowforge, where the Glowforge is actually inside the laser itself. The benefit of using an external cooler is, depending on your environment, you may need more cooling than the laser otherwise would be able to provide. So with my setup, because I'm in my basement here and it's unheated, it's nice and cool 99% of the time, I can just get a CW3000 cooler like you see down here, and that does more than a sufficient job of keeping my laser well below 25C all day long for running cuts for hours on end. However, if you run in a garage, you might find that you actually want a more aggressive cooler so that you can run all day long. The benefit of this is you can go buy a CW5000 cooler, which can run in hotter environments. It's essentially like a mini AC unit for your laser, and you can run all day long, and you don't have to buy the top of the line laser to get that. You can buy it based on your situation, which is great for those of you who are trying to save some money and not have to spend an arm and a leg just to get a laser that's going to be able to produce the things that you want to make. So my fourth reason for why I bought a full spectrum Muse is the Rotary Riser option. Now with the Glowforge, you have to step up all the way to the Pro model just to get a pass-through. Now I purchased the Core, which is the least expensive full spectrum Muse, and I was still able to buy the Riser Rotary combo, which gives me the pass-through for a significant lower cost than the Glowforge, as well as a rotary option, so I can make wonderful pint glasses like this that isn't even an option on the Glowforge. So another benefit of having the riser is the ability to cut or engrave significantly taller objects. So one of the challenges with the Glowforge is a lot of people have to remove their crumb tray to get it to autofocus right, and they just run into constant problems. Now with the full spectrum Muse, you're actually able to swap out your lenses. This is an example of the 5-inch lens kit that I purchased from Full Spectrum Muse. This is really beneficial for cutting foam, engraving really deep bowls, and other things like that. With the Glowforge, you can't even change your lens out for a different focal length. So with the Full Spectrum Muse, it's a huge benefit to be able to do that. The number 3 item on the list, which is build quality. If you notice, this whole machine is all metal. The outsides here for just sort of decoration are plastic, but everything on the inside is all metal. You can see all the good parts that matter, it's all metal, which is exactly what you want. I'm going to just slide this down here. So you can actually see the laser tube is in the back there. It's nicely protected, so you're not going to be at any risk of damaging it. The Glowforge is a little bit more exposed. However, with just 3 bolts, you can actually remove that piece and have very good access to the laser should you ever need to replace it. The other benefit with this more professional build quality in mind is you can see back there, you have access to all of your lenses. So that's where the red dot diode is, and that's where the first mirror is. And then we have our second mirror here. Our third mirror is on the gantry here underneath. It's a little bit harder to see. And then we have our focus lens underneath there. So one of the challenges with the Glowforge is you can't really adjust any of those. So if something comes out of alignment, Glowforge is not really set up for you to fix that. With the Full Spectrum Muse, you're able to fix it on your own with the help of the support staff over at FSL. Now speaking of support staff, something that I commonly see on Glowforge forums is people complaining about not being able to talk to a real human being. Full Spectrum Laser actually has employees who are able to talk to you on the phone and try to help you with your issue, which may seem like a small ask, but is extremely helpful when you're struggling with an issue and you just need someone to help. They also have community forums, very similar to Glowforge, where people are more than happy to help out and try to figure out where the issue is. And finally, on to the number 1 reason why you should buy a full spectrum Muse instead of a Glowforge: internet connectivity with all the benefits of the Glowforge and none of the hassle. The full spectrum Muse uses the internet in a very similar way to the Glowforge to allow you to access the laser cutter over the internet. However, all of the computing and all of the hard work is happening on the laser itself and is not happening in the cloud. The main benefit of that is, unlike the Glowforge, where if your internet goes down or say Glowforge servers go down, you can still use your machine, because with the Full Spectrum Muse, everything is happening on the machine itself. The other big benefit of that is you can actually plug in directly via Ethernet port on the side of the machine and do all of your controls using the computer interface without having to go through the internet. So if you're in an area where you can't get internet, this machine is a great option for you because you can just directly connect to the machine and do all the same things you would otherwise. Now, in addition to that, the Full Spectrum Muse has this wonderful touch panel where I can manipulate the laser and move it around. There's a significant amount of benefit to having this panel, which I'll go into in another video, but it sort of goes hand in hand with having the ability to use the laser and not have to be connected to a computer or connected to an internet to run the machine. So those are my top 5 things for why you should buy a Full Spectrum Muse instead of a Glowforge. Thanks for watching. I hope this has helped you with your purchase, whether you've gone Glowforge or whether you've gone Full Spectrum Muse.